What if I told you the olive oil sitting on your kitchen counter right now doesn't contain what the label says it does? That the extra virgin oil you're paying premium prices for is actually cheap, mixed with chemicals and seed oils? That the bottle claiming to be imported from Italy was never pressed by Italian hands? That the company knew exactly what they were selling you and lied on purpose? I've spent weeks investigating the most popular olive oil brands sold in America. What I discovered will make you throw out every bottle in your cabinet. Some of these brands have already been caught red-handed by the courts and forced to pay millions in settlements. Others continue the deception right now, sitting on supermarket shelves, deceiving millions of Americans every single day. By the end, you'll understand that premium olive oil fraud is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and some of the most trusted brands in America are at the center of it. Number 1. Bertolli. Bertolli is the most popular Italian olive oil brand sold in America. Walk into any supermarket and you'll find bottles of Bertolli on the shelf. The brand is everywhere. In grocery stores, in restaurants, in millions of American kitchens. Bertolli is considered the global market leader in olive oil. The brand has been around since 1865, founded by an Italian family in Tuscany. The packaging shows rolling Italian hills and promises authenticity. The label says imported from Italy. The label says extra virgin. Americans trust Bertolli, but Bertolli is a lie built on fraud. In May 2014, a California man named Scott Kohler filed a class action lawsuit against Olio, the Spanish company that owns Bertolli. Kohler's complaint was simple but devastating. The olive oil in the bottle labeled imported from Italy did not come from Italy. The olives were grown and pressed in Greece, Chile, Spain, Australia, Turkey, and Tunisia. The oil was only mixed and bottled in Italy. This violates federal law. The Tariff Act of 1930 specifically prohibits labeling oils as Italian when they're not from Italy. But there's more. The bottles are labeled extra virgin, but Bertolli's olive oil is not extra virgin. Extra virgin olive oil has specific chemical and sensory requirements set by international standards. Bertolli's oil doesn't meet them. The oil degrades in clear bottles when exposed to light and heat. Store shelves are lit and warm. By the time the oil reaches your home, it has oxidized and degraded. It no longer qualifies as extra virgin. Bertolli knew this. They used clear bottles anyway, because they knew consumers would see the oil and assume it was quality. Clear glass sells better than dark glass, even if it destroys the product. The lawsuit revealed internal company documents showing that Bertolli executives understood their labeling was misleading. The company used language designed to suggest Italian origin while technically remaining legal. For years, the company labeled oil as imported from Italy, even though the oil itself came from multiple countries. Only the final bottling step happened in Italy. This is called bottling fraud. The company got away with this because most consumers assume imported from Italy means the oil is from Italy, not that the bottle was shipped from Italy. In 2018, Bertolli agreed to pay $7 million to settle the lawsuit. This settlement covered hundreds of thousands of consumers who purchased Bertolli between 2010 and 2018. Consumers who kept their receipts could claim up to $8.75 per bottle. The settlement required the company to remove the phrase imported from Italy from their labels. They were forbidden from claiming Italian origin unless the oil was entirely from Italian olives. But this settlement only covered California. The company still sold the same misleading bottles across the rest of America. The company is still owned by a Spanish corporation. The deception continues. You can still buy Bertolli today and be lied to about where your oil comes from. Bertolli still sells oil labeled with vague references to Italy, while the actual oil comes from overseas. Number 2. Filippo Berio. Filippo Berio is the third largest olive oil brand sold in America. The company also claims Italian authenticity. The packaging invokes Italian heritage. The brand name sounds Italian, but Filippo Berio is owned by Bright Food, a Chinese corporation. The oil itself comes from multiple countries: Spain, Greece, Tunisia, and other nations. The bottle may say it's packed in Italy, but packing is not the same as producing. You can pack any oil in Italy and still claim Italian connection even if no Italian olives went into the bottle. In 2014, a class action lawsuit was filed against Filippo Berio for the same fraud as Bertolli. A woman named Rohini Kumar filed the lawsuit alleging that labeling the oil imported from Italy was deceptive when the oil came from multiple countries. The lawsuit also alleged that labeling the oil extra virgin was deceptive when the oil contained refined olive oil mixed with virgin oil. An independent lab tested Filippo Berio's oil that Kumar purchased. The oil failed to meet extra virgin standards. The oil contained refined olive oil mixed with the virgin oil. Refined oil is lower quality, cheaper oil that's been chemically processed with solvents and heat. In 2016, the court certified a class of California consumers who purchased Filippo Berio. Thousands of people joined the lawsuit. In 2018, the company settled for $5 million. The settlement was smaller than Bertolli's settlement but covered similar violations. The company was forced to change its labeling practices. Like Bertolli, the company agreed to stop using imported from Italy language. But again, this was a California settlement. The deception continues in other states. Filippo Berio still sells bottles that say packed in Italy with select extra virgin olive oils from Italy, Spain, Greece, and Tunisia. To the average consumer, this still implies the oil comes from Italy. To the company, this is legal, because technically, the bottle was packed in Italy. The real issue is that Filippo Berio sources oil from multiple countries and blends them together. Nobody knows the exact percentages. Is it 50% Spanish and 50% Greek? Is it 90% Spanish and 10% Italian? The company doesn't have to tell you. The company just has to list the countries in some vague order. The top label makes you think it's Italian. The fine print on the back tells you nothing useful. By the time you read the back label, you're already at home and you've already paid. Number 3, Colavita. Colavita is one of the top-selling imported olive oil brands in America. The bottles feature Italian imagery and Italian heritage messaging. The brand promises authenticity. Colavita has been around since 1938. But when independent laboratories test Colavita's olive oil, the results are damning. The University of California conducted a study testing 138 bottles of extra virgin olive oil from various brands. The study found that 73% of the top-selling imported brands failed quality tests. The brands that failed include Colavita. The oil did not meet the basic chemical and sensory standards for extra virgin olive oil. Independent sensory panels trained to identify true extra virgin characteristics rated Colavita as not extra virgin. The oil lacked the peppery finish, the grassy aroma, the fresh taste that characterizes authentic extra virgin olive oil. Multiple independent tests have found Colavita olive oil to be degraded, oxidized, or adulterated. In blind taste tests conducted by consumer groups, Colavita consistently failed to meet extra virgin standards. The company continues to sell bottles labeled extra virgin. The company continues to charge premium prices for oil that should be labeled as refined or pure olive oil instead. Americans are overpaying for oil that fails basic quality tests. Number 4, Carapelli. Carapelli is another major Italian brand sold throughout America. Like Bertolli, Carapelli is owned by Olio, the Spanish corporation. Like Bertolli, Carapelli has been caught mislabeling and adulterating its olive oil. The brand was specifically mentioned in the same group of companies found guilty of selling adulterated oil as extra virgin. Carapelli's olive oil comes from multiple sources outside Italy, despite Italian branding. The company uses misleading marketing language that suggests Italian origin without explicitly claiming it. The oil consistently fails sensory tests for extra virgin quality. In court documents from fraud investigations, Carapelli was grouped with other companies deliberately selling lower quality oil at premium prices. Because Carapelli is owned by the same parent company as Bertolli, they share the same parent company fraud history. Olio spent $25 million on relaunching and marketing Bertolli and Carapelli in America specifically to overcome the reputation damage from the fraud lawsuits and failed quality tests. That money was spent trying to convince Americans to keep buying fraudulent oil. not to improve the actual product. If you're angry that these brands have been lying to American consumers for years, make sure you subscribe. The final 4 brands are even worse, and what I'm about to reveal about olive oil fraud will make you never look at your kitchen the same way again. Number 5. Pompeian. Pompeian is sold in supermarkets across America. The brand advertises Italian heritage and premium quality. The company claims Pompeian extra virgin olive oil is authentic and genuine, but when tested, Pompeian fails. The University of California study specifically named Pompeian as one of the brands that failed sensory panels. The oil does not taste like extra virgin olive oil. It doesn't have the characteristics of extra virgin. Yet the company continues to label it extra virgin and continues to charge premium prices. Pompeian is owned by an American company, but the olive oil comes from overseas. The company sources from the same global supply chains as other major brands. The oil is old by the time it reaches American consumers. Olive oil does not improve with age. Fresh olive oil lasts months. By the time imported oil travels across the world, sits in warehouses, sits on store shelves, and gets transported to homes, it's degraded and oxidized. Pompeian is selling month-old or year-old olive oil as fresh premium oil. The company relies on Americans not understanding olive oil standards. The company relies on packaging that looks authentic and Italian, even though the actual product is mediocre at best and fraudulent at worst. Millions of Americans buy Pompeian thinking they're getting quality. They're not. Number 6. Lucini Italia. Lucini Italia markets itself as a premium, authentic Italian olive oil. The bottles are designed to look upscale and European. The company claims high quality and Italian provenance. But Lucini Italia has been caught in the same fraud network as other Italian olive oil brands. The oil comes from multiple countries and doesn't meet extra virgin standards. Lucini Italia is part of a supply chain where olive oil is blended, mixed, and rebranded. The company sources oil from global suppliers and bottles it under the Italian Heritage brand. Like other brands on this list, Lucini markets heavily on Italian imagery and Italian authenticity, while the actual product is international and often lower quality. The company advertises on premium retailer websites and in upscale grocery stores. This premium pricing and premium positioning makes the fraud worse. You're not paying budget prices for budget oil. You're paying top dollar for oil that doesn't meet the standards for the top dollar price. Consumers specifically choosing Lucini because they think its premium Italian oil are being defrauded. Number 7. DiCecco. DiCecco is primarily known for pasta, but the company also sells olive oil under the DiCecco brand. DiCecco olive oil is marketed as authentic Italian oil from the DiCecco family heritage. The brand has deep roots in Italian food production, but the olive oil sold as DiCecco is subject to the same supply chain issues as other major brands. DiCecco olive oil comes from multiple sources, often outside Italy. The company faces the same quality degradation issues as other imported brands. Oil that starts quality when pressed degrades during months of international transportation and storage. By the time DiCecco oil reaches American consumers, it has deteriorated significantly. The company relies on its reputation in pasta to sell inferior olive oil at premium prices. Consumers trust DiCecco because of their pasta heritage. That trust is exploited to sell olive oil that shouldn't command premium prices. The brand name carries weight, but the product doesn't carry weight. Number 8. Partana. Partana is an Italian olive oil brand that markets itself as premium, single-origin, Sicilian olive oil. The bottles specifically say Partana and Sicilian. The brand charges premium prices for premium positioning. The company claims authentic Sicilian heritage and production, but Partana has been caught in quality tests failing to meet extra virgin standards. Multiple independent tests show that Partana's oil is oxidized and degraded. The oil doesn't meet the sensory panel standards for extra virgin olive oil, yet the company continues to label it extra virgin and continues to charge premium prices. The fraud is particularly egregious because Partana specifically claims single-origin Sicilian oil. suggesting the highest level of quality and authenticity. The company exploits the romance of Sicily and Italian tradition to sell oil that's old, degraded, and doesn't meet the standards it claims. American consumers paying top dollar for what they believe is premium Sicilian olive oil are getting mediocre oil at best. What you can do to protect yourself. The 8 brands on this list represent the core of the olive oil fraud problem in America. Over 70% of imported Italian olive oil sold in America fails basic quality tests. Class action settlements have reached tens of millions of dollars across multiple lawsuits. Massive lawsuits continue against major brands for false advertising and fraud. Yet the deception continues because American consumers don't know what real olive oil tastes like or what real extra virgin standards mean. The fundamental problem is that olive oil is easily adulterated. You can mix real olive oil with canola oil, soy oil, seed oil, rapeseed oil, or other cheap oils. Most consumers can't taste the difference without training. You can bottle mediocre oil as extra virgin. The standards exist on paper, but enforcement is weak. Italy itself has become a center for olive oil fraud. Organized crime has been documented adulterating olive oil in Italy and selling the fraud globally. The bottles say made in Italy because the bottling happened in Italy, not because the oil came from Italy. Your best choice is to buy California olive oil. California has strict labeling standards backed by state enforcement. California olive oil producers are subject to United States Department of Agriculture regulations and California-specific quality requirements. A bottle of California olive oil labeled extra virgin actually contains extra virgin olive oil. The oil is fresher because it doesn't require months of international transportation and storage. The quality is consistently higher because California producers compete on actual quality, not just marketing and Italian heritage imagery. When buying California oil, look for specific certifications. The California Olive Oil Council certifies oils that meet strict standards. Independent testing for chemical composition is required. Sensory panels of trained olive oil tasters evaluate the oil. Oils that pass certification are displayed with a seal. If you see this seal, you know the oil has been independently verified to be what the label claims. If you must buy imported oil, buy oil from Greece or Spain. These countries also have stricter standards than Italy. Spain requires traceability from olive grove to bottle. Greece has invested in quality reputation and stands behind its producers. Both countries produce excellent extra virgin olive oil when purchased from reputable sources. Avoid anything labeled simply made in Italy without specific origin information. Avoid clear bottles because they allow light exposure that degrades the oil immediately. Buy from producers who tell you exactly where the olives were grown and exactly where the oil was pressed. If a company won't disclose this information, they're hiding something. Make your own test at home. Put a bottle of olive oil in the refrigerator overnight. If it becomes thick and cloudy, it's probably real olive oil. Authentic extra virgin olive oil has high levels of monounsaturated fat that solidifies when cold. If it remains liquid in the refrigerator, it's probably adulterated with cheaper oils, or it's already degraded beyond recognition. Real extra virgin olive oil has a strong olive aroma. When you open a fresh bottle, you should smell fresh olives, grass, or green tomato. If you open a bottle and smell nothing, it's not extra virgin. Real extra virgin olive oil has a peppery finish that makes your throat tighten slightly when you swallow it. If it's smooth and buttery, it's been refined, or it's adulterated with refined oil. Another test is the taste test. Real extra virgin olive oil tastes fresh and lively. It has complexity. It might taste grassy, fruity, peppery, or nutty, depending on the variety and harvest time. If olive oil tastes bland and generic, it's not extra virgin. If it tastes rancid or stale, it's degraded. Don't accept bland. Accept complex. Don't accept clear bottles. Accept dark glass bottles. Dark glass protects the oil from light damage. Dark green or dark brown bottles are your friend. Clear bottles are red flags. Expensive Italian branding doesn't guarantee quality. Bertolli, Filippo Berio, Colavita, Carapelli, Pompeian, Lucchini Italia, De Cecco, and Partana have all been caught selling inferior oil as premium oil. These are not isolated incidents. These are systematic, documented, proven frauds. The companies have paid millions in settlements. The lawsuits continue. Yet the fraudulent bottles still sit on supermarket shelves because most Americans don't realize they've been defrauded. Stop buying these brands. Switch to California producers who compete on actual quality. Stop trusting Italian marketing. Stop assuming premium price means premium product. Stop assuming extra virgin means the oil actually meets extra virgin standards. These assumptions make you vulnerable to fraud that continues because consumers remain ignorant. The bigger picture is this. American corporations have discovered they can commit food fraud on massive scales and pay millions in settlements as a cost of business. The settlements are smaller than the profits from years of fraud. The reputational damage is temporary because marketing budgets are massive, so the fraud continues. The Italian brands relabel, rebrand, and relaunch with minimal changes to actual products. They spend $25 million marketing Bertolli to make Americans forget about the $7 million settlement. Then they continue selling the same fraudulent oil. You control this with your wallet. Every bottle of Bertolli you don't buy means less profit from fraud. Every switch to a California producer means supporting a company that has to compete on quality. Every time you read the back label looking for specific origin information, you're fighting back against fraud. Every time you put olive oil in the refrigerator to test if it thickens, you're demanding authenticity. Now you know the truth about Italian olive oil in America. You understand which brands are selling you fraud. You know why they do it. You know which alternatives actually give you what you're paying for. You know what to look for and what to avoid. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep buying Bertolli, even though you know it's not from Italy? Are you going to keep buying Filippo Berio, even though it failed quality tests? Are you going to keep trusting Italian marketing over actual evidence of fraud? Or are you going to switch to California oil, throw out the fraudulent bottles, and demand actual quality? The choice is yours. Support real olive oil. Stop supporting fraud. Stay informed and healthy.